Welcome once again. We made it. We're on the air. We're broadcasting live from Tiger's house in San Diego, California. By the way, this is Garden America. Sometimes we do an intro where we come back from a break and we fail to mention for those that are new to the show or what's going on that we are Garden America. So, John, that sounds good. John's got the audio turned up on his phone. We are ready to go.
That's how I know everything is good.
Is good, exactly. Yeah. Yes, welcome. Garden America. I'm Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. From the what you see in the background is Tiger's backyard. We'll have more on that later on as we get real detailed into all the plant material, John.
What if you're just listening on the radio?
Oh, you're talking about our good friends on Biz Talk Radio.
That's right.
You know what?
Because they're not watching this, but they can go watch it, right?
They can watch it on our Facebook page,
right?
Garden America Radio Show, or if they prefer, while they're listening on Biz Talk Radio, they can do what we call theater of the mind. They can imagine.
Wow, you're going to have to be descriptive, though.
What his backyard looks like. And John's going to name every plant here in a while.
No, Tiger will have to do that.
We're good to go?
Yeah, no, we're good. You guys keep going. No, everything's good. I'll tell you.
Whenever, it's funny because whenever John and I go on and on and on and we don't hear from Tiger,
right?
And I try to read his body language, and I couldn't read it this time, so we just had to say, what's going on? Are we good? And he says, we are good.
All right. The newsletter this week, if you get the newsletter, first of all, if you don't get the newsletter.
How do you get the newsletter? It's very complicated, isn't it?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
You have to fill out forms?
No, I think you can just go to gardenamerica.com and click on sign up for the newsletter.
Why do we ask for people's Social Security number? Or did we stop doing that?
We don't do that anymore. All we ask for now is a American Express credit card.
No, I see nothing. No, it's free.
It's absolutely free.
You can go to our website, gardenamerica.com.
And as you say, it's absolutely free and worth every penny.
Every penny.
But I wrote an article this week about Tiger's garden in his theory of gardening. And I don't know if Tiger's going to join us here, but I wanted him to...
Tiger arranged that flyover, by the way. Thank you for that, Tiger.
You're welcome.
Well, that's how you know it's live, Brian. But I wanted Tiger to explain that article a little bit and what his theory of gardening is, because what I like about Tiger is he gives you permission to do almost anything if you enjoy doing it, right, Tiger?
Exactly.
What now, explain that. He gives you permission to do anything you like if you enjoy it.
Well, I mean, you no constraints in the garden design or what you're doing.
No demands.
No demands.
Right.
Those mics down just a touch. There you go. Just a little bit.
So it's a little bit of up or down, man. A little. It's a little survival of the fittest, because I will plant plants where I want them to be and where I think they could grow, but doesn't mean they're going to have the irrigation or some of the other needs that they may have. I will plant plants that I've collected and I've liked, but they
that's
won't
the main
necessarily
thing.
go with the design.
It doesn't have to be an overarching design that you have to adhere to.
Yeah.
If you like the plant, you'll just find a spot for it, right?
That's
true.
True.
What?
That's
That is so funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, when I had a lot of property, big house in Pacific Beach, I had a 4-door Chevy, whatever it was, not an SUV, not a truck. I'd go to Home Depot. I would buy plants. I had no idea what their names were. I liked them. I would stuff them in my car. I would come home. I would plant them wherever, really giving no thought to sunlight, no thought to location, no thought to water. And I was successful about 95% of the time because I didn't know enough to be dangerous. I just kind of let it be. That may not work for everybody, but it's kind of what Tiger's saying.
Yeah.
Maybe the irrigation's not quite there, but I like the plant. And you go for it, because is there a right and wrong way to garden?
And you went right from that to, I ought to do a gardening show.
Right from that. I told you the story about Bruce Asakawa, and we were talking about the same thing years ago.
Right.
And he looks at me and says, be careful. I go, what? He goes, because now you know a little bit.
Yeah.
Now you're going to start overthinking. You're dangerous now.
Just enough to be dangerous.
Right.
The other thing I think John appreciates with my garden or style too is the idea that, like for instance, all the status that we talked about growing, right?
Right.
I don't really have a plan for those areas yet, or the ability to work on those areas, or what I'm going to do. So I just let them be.
They're placeholders.
They are.
Yeah.
And I leave them there. And even they might not be my most favorite plant. They
Right.
might not be the best plant for it. But I leave them there because if I take them out, now I'll just have dirt
Or weeds.
or weeds. So
Right.
they might as well have something. Along the side of us over here are all those bananas. And they're not bad, but
I
don't
think
have a
think
plan
they
for them.
look good. They've got fruit hanging on them.
How long have those been there?
Since we've owned the house,
They were there already.
They were already there. Yeah.
You cleaned them up a lot.
Yes, a lot. Yeah. I've been thinning them out, meaning I've been removing them rather than letting them keep repopulating. I only let so many repopulate. And it's so funny. Okay, let's see. The shot that's on the camera right now. Okay. Oh, let me go back. So if you look over the top of Brian's head right now, there's a cluster of bananas right behind him. And I think there's an irrigation leak over there because that cluster of bananas is so much bigger, so many more bananas.
And a little greener, too.
Than the rest of the section.
That's interesting.
That I
Yeah.
think that there's an irrigation break over there. They get a lot more water than all the rest
Now
of it.
you've got giant bird of paradise mixed with them.
Yes, yeah. That was not my choice either. That
Which
was
is
already
interesting. You have to look very carefully.
there. Can't tell the difference between the two.
I don't know. It just pops right out to me.
This
It does.
this is unrelated but related. Back when I was a kid, early 60s, I don't know when it was, but some friends of my folks went fishing, deep sea fishing. They came back to the house, and again, this is through my blurry memory of being a kid. They cut up the fish, and I remember they were going to plant, we had just planted a bird of paradise. They took all these raw fish, they cut them up, and they put them in the ground.
Fish meal.
And I'll tell you what, within a month, that thing took off just based on that. And nobody knew what they were doing. They just thought that fish is going to be good for the plant. And it was a giant bird of paradise. And that's my story. That's my fish story.
And you're sticking to it.
I'm going to stick to that.
You know what I would do? I like what Tiger Hat has done with these bananas, and I would, if this was my house, I would have that row of bananas. But you know what I would do differently, Tiger?
What?
Can you take a guess?
I know
Put
what
roses
I know
all
what
on-
I might do.
Put climbing roses.
No,
all
no,
along the
no,
wall.
no. I would keep the bananas there, except I would get out my book, Banana Varieties of the World. And I would make sure that I had
one
at
of
least
each.
a dozen different types.
Yeah, one of each variety.
Yeah, one that I had years and years ago, and it didn't make it, unfortunately. But I don't know if I have time. I might try another one someday. But I want to put in a rhino horn banana.
Is it just one banana that comes out of the whole? What do you cluster?
Right. I don't know if it's what do they call those hands?
Hand. Well, they said that each individual thing is the hands.
Right.
But that whole big bunch of hands. It's mini hands. Like, what do you call mini hands?
I don't know.
Mini is in a lot of.
Numerous
Numerous
hands.
Yeah.
Several hands.
A lot of. But the rhino horn may be the clusters aren't as big, but each banana is 2 feet long.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's just one giant
2
banana.
feet long?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Really?
eaten
Yeah.
it?
You got to show me this.
Have you ever eaten it?
No.
No. I
No.
wonder what it tastes like.
Yeah, see, that you wondered about the flavor, right?
Yeah. Again, I read the book Banana Varieties of the World, but
Of course you did.
but I haven't worked with bananas for such a long time that I'd have to refresh my memory, and I can't remember if that was an edible banana, a fruit banana, or a plantain. Because plantains you don't eat fresh; they've got to be cooked. That's the difference.
I don't know. That's interesting. That's food for thought.
Yeah.
At least a banana for thought. Now, we got a break coming up here. Any questions, comments? How are we doing so far?
No, we got a good quote of the week. When we come back, we'll do the quote of the week. And meantime, Tiger's going to fix my phone so I can see the comments also.
Oh, yeah, we do this every week, don't we? It's kind of a fun little bit that we've worked into the show. Even though John brings them up before the show, he loses them, and then Tiger can bring those comments back up. So again, yes, this is Garden America. Thank you to Biz Talk Radio. Welcome those on Facebook Live as we broadcast live from Tiger's Place here in San Diego, California. We are going to take a break, as John mentioned. Going to stay close to that clock for Biz Talk Radio. Quicker break on Facebook Live. So again, thank you for joining us. Live remote, Tiger's house here in San Diego, the backyard. I'm Brian Main, John Begnasker, Tiger Palafox. Again, as we say most every week here, back after these messages from our good friends on Biz Talk Radio. And we are back from that break. Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live. It is Garden America, in case you're just joining us. And boy, you got a sad-looking dog there looking out from the kitchen, Tiger, wanting to be out here with us. Charlie and Chandler, right?
Yeah, they'll just be bugging us the whole
We did a
time,
lot
for
of
sure.
show prep with Charlie and Chandler before the show, but we are back. And John, the quote of the week, which obviously is in that newsletter we talked about, top of the show.
You know, in the quote of the week, I'm going through putting the finishing touches on the novel that I just wrote, and I used this quote in my novel, and I went back and read the story or the excerpt from the book that it came from, and it just impressed me. And the quote's from David Fairchild, and it comes after he returned from a trip to Hawaii. And back then there were no airplanes, so, it had to be by boat. And he was based in Washington, D.C., so kind of a long ways.
That's a journey. That's a trek.
Yeah, kind of a long ways. But anyway, he said that I'm glad that I saw a few of the quiet places of the world before the coming of automobiles and jazz.
Automobiles and jazz.
Doesn't that...
Yeah.
You
It
know,
paints a
it-
picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
David Fairchild. Do you have your comments on your phone, John?
Yeah,
I do.
Right now we're working with Tanya's, but I'm trying to get I'm trying to make sure everybody can share the link, because we set it up a little differently this week, where
Right.
we went live via my Facebook page
And shared it on.
and shared it onto Garden America's
Garden America.
Facebook page, which means that people aren't getting the Garden America's live notice that they would normally get. So they'd have to go to our Facebook page and then click on the link.
Okay, and let anybody else know as well
Yeah.
that wants to watch and hear today's show.
Yep. Exactly. So, we were talking a little bit about the garden, before the last break too. And, it's always fun to share what you're doing in your garden with people. I mean, that's part of our show is, like
Right.
the photos that we put in the newsletter and how we share what's happening. And, we try to include people in what's being done in their yard, what they're successful, what their failures are. And it's a little bit, also kind of unnerving sometimes, because it's almost like you're opening yourself up to the critique or criticism of other people. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I will say, and I don't know, John, if you feel this way also, because you have so many people come to your yard every year, because you have, rose auction preparation, you have,
Right.
Plant preservation meetings and groups and all this other stuff. That
We have landscapers trying to make sense of everything.
Exactly. but it's almost like a chef that cooks a meal, that they recognize how hard it is to cook a meal, that when you go to someone's yard now, you don't critique them at all, because you're like, you know what? It's hard. And if you have some weeds,
Yeah, I usually look for what I like.
yeah,
you know,
not what you don't like.
Yeah, I usually don't critique gardens.
Yeah.
I look at plants and say, for instance, I gave you a Dorianthus palmeri.
Yeah.
What's it called? Spear lily, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sorry, Brian.
Just a little bit. We had
Yeah.
a blast on this morning.
And you showed it to me over here, and I was almost jealous. It looks so good.
Yeah. But I mean, like you say, you pick out what you like.
Right.
You don't focus on it, what you don't like. And I think that's a true gardener is going to walk into someone's yard and just see all the great things, because they know the little other things, the
Right.
weeds, the not properly trimmed plant or
walking into somebody's garden,
Yeah.
and you're very impressed by something that's thriving that they have,
Yes.
and you couldn't grow it,
Yes.
and so you say, what are you doing? What are you doing to make that look so good?
Yeah.
And usually, it's nothing more than a little fertilizer and water.
It's
It's
we're nothing more.
We're
right?
looking for that elixir, like
Yeah.
that magic potion that made you successful. And
Exactly.
that's what I would look for. Something that I'm having a problem with, and I see somebody else, and they're having a lot of success.
I think that's why people do fall into that trap that of what people are selling out there on the internet or what
Right.
people are selling. It's like, oh, you put this on your plants and it'll be fine. It'll grow so much faster. Or you put this on your plants and it'll take all the bugs away, or whatever it may be.
But where is it planted? How much sun is it getting? Northeast, west, or south?
Did Brian plant it?
Yeah, exactly. What's the temperature range? There's so many factors that go into it.
Is there soil in the pot?
Well,
Yeah.
that's debatable. Some people are really for soil, and you're a big soil guy, John.
I am.
You think that's the key to a lot of successful growing.
Look at the Dracaena right there in front of Brian's mixer board. There's no soil in there.
Doing quite
Hey,
well.
Brian, can you lift that up and show it to John? Look at it from the top. The reason why I like this one, doesn't it look like it's kind of growing in a spiral?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I really like that Dracaena.
This is nice. It's very nice.
I don't know if that's just the way it grew.
I think it's that variety.
Is there? Do you think
Yeah,
so?
there's a dwarf variety that curls like that.
Okay.
There's a lot of breeding that's been done with those types of Dracaenas.
Uh-huh.
And you'll get some with white stripes instead of chartreuse like this. And everyone's a little bit different. I really like those. By the way, you were talking about the way that I critique gardens and how I always look for the best in things and things that I like.
Yeah.
And it's always been easy for me to do that with gardens, and I'm just getting to the point where I realize I need to do it with people. And treating people like plants is something I need to work on.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
I've seen some progress.
Well, as you get older, you mellow out a little bit. So, yeah,
You mellow out and
Yeah.
you're less you don't focus on all of the noise that's out there. You know what I mean?
A lot of the negativity.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you see John as a get off my lawn kind of guy?
No. I don't. I see him if John lived.
I
in a
used
tract home-
to be one of
believe-
those guys.
I believe it. I believe
Yeah.
it. But if John lived in a tract home area where it was like a neighborhood and he had people like walking by his house and everything, I could see John now as always being out in the front yard.
Yep.
Everybody
Yep.
says hi to him as they walk by.
Well, they do.
Everybody-
They do
everybody
that.
else Everybody's checking in on what's new because I think he's always doing something new in his yard. And I think he's also the kind of guy that if people were to walk by and say, "Hey, John, do you mind if I, cut some roses for a bouquet or something?" I think he would be totally fine with it
He'd be like, okay,
because
those-
he doesn't do it.
Those in the back are fine. Don't cut them here, but the
Yeah,
ones in the back
yes.
have at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're giving me more credit than I deserve right now, I think.
No, but I think because you would do that, but you just are like, yeah, I'm out here
Under-promote,
anyways, I'm enjoying
over-deliver.
'em.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, it is break time. We're going to stay on track here for Biz Talk Radio, so thank you for joining us. Those on Facebook Live, those on Biz Talk Radio. Questions, comments, I see, John, on your phone, so things are okay so far?
So far,
So far, so good. So we're going to take a break for Biz Talk Radio. Stay with us. Whatever's on your mind, we are Garden America, back after these messages. Back from the break. We generally do come back from the breaks. Only a few times over the years have we not come back from a break, surprisingly. But we are back live, broadcasting from Tiger's backyard here in San Diego, California. John, you made it on time this morning. You're refreshed. Cup
I
of
brought
coffee.
you pots this morning.
You brought pots.
I was cleaning out a pile that my wife has been threatening me about for the last month.
Right.
And my son got a dump trailer, and we loaded it to the top and made a
and
trip
you
to
gave
the
us
dump.
some of your leftovers.
Yeah, and well, there were some I thought, these are just too nice to throw out. Maybe somebody could use them.
The one that I chose, I can barely lift. It's a solid pot.
Yeah, that was a nice pot.
Got to
That
be
was
good,
a
but good 8 pounds at least.
good ceramic pot.
Yes, absolutely.
It's substantial.
I like substantial.
Yeah. Our good friend Kathy from Eureka joined us.
Hello, Kathy. Hello.
Kathy and I have been chatting lately, and she's getting to the point where if she's not careful, I'm going to have to give her acknowledgments in my book.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because the last thing you write is the foreword, right?
The last thing you write is the foreword?
Because, like you're saying, you get us.
I don't have a foreword in my book right now. The last thing you put in is the acknowledgments.
Right, but maybe,
The first thing I wrote was the prologue.
as opposed to the epilogue, which would be the end of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The it's some of our listeners, especially radio listeners, might not know what we're talking about, but I just completed my first fiction book. I've written some nonfiction books on gardening, but it's my first fiction book, and I was kind of at a loss because it was all new, and some people that I respect their opinions are helping me go through it now, and
Well, the part that you wrote for me, or reflecting
well, I wanted
me,
you to. It wasn't you. It was
No.
a character that happened to have same name but spelled differently.
right, in pretty much the same industry.
Yeah.
And I thought you did a good job with that. I don't know if going back 20 years you would have had enough knowledge or information
I
to have
would.
written it that well.
No, I don't think so because I wasn't as familiar with radio
Exactly.
back then.
Exactly. But you faked
and-
it for a
and-
lot of years. And what we all do.
And podcasts are new.
A podcast is a radio show.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. People that would never have a platform prior to 5-10 years ago. Everyone's a radio star.
I remember one of the criticisms on trying to think how long I've been doing the radio show. Maybe 25 years.
I was
Does
going
that
to say 20,
sound-
25 comes to mind.
Yeah, because before I started working with you, I was working with Ken Kramer
Well, then it goes back even further.
for a
than-
couple years.
It's probably 30 years. Because you and I hooked up at Kogo
Right.
in the late 90s.
Yeah.
1999, 2000.
Right.
Yeah, that's 25 years just that alone.
But I remember one of the first criticisms that I took to heart was, I don't know if he was production manager or what, but making the comment to our boss at the time, can't this guy just stick to the script and talk about gardening? We don't care about his comments of what's going on around us.
Well, see, now that's a program director, right?
Do you know who that was? It's Cliff Albert.
Oh, Cliffy. It's interesting.
And I always respected Cliff. I never knew him. I think I might have only met him once or twice.
Every program director is going to have a different take.
Yeah.
They're all. Somebody else might say, that's good. A little slice of life, John. That's good. Tempered with what you're talking about. Just make sure there's a balance there. That could be from another program.
I think what he was upset with was we were in a new studio and there was something going on in the background, and I made a comment about it.
Oh.
And I think he was upset that I brought that to the
To the
radio.
attention.
Right, because there was no video at that time, and he was just thinking, that's not something people on the radio want to hear about.
Well, then I agree with him.
Well, it was a lot. I learned a lot, not much, but learned a lot in all those years.
There are some basics, but again, it's like every PD is going to be a little different.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't your wife a program director?
no, she was in music. She worked with the record companies. She worked with the guys that would come down from L.A. and promote their client, and then take them out to lunch. And somebody from Columbia Records.
I thought she worked
or
with
ABC.
Hudson and Bauer.
Well, she was a producer.
That's what she was,
She was
a
their
producer.
and then she produced Mark Larson as well.
Got it.
Tanya had asked in the distance behind us as the brown building part of my property as well. And
I misread
yes.
that too. She said, "Is the brown building behind or part of Tiger's Place?"
Yeah.
And I thought it read it as Tiger's Palace.
Are
part
we
of Tiger's
talking about
Palace.
the
It's the gazebo back there.
The gazebo.
Which maybe a little later in the show, I'll take one camera and see if I can show the lower part of the property. So yes, that gazebo back there, and then behind that is another white-ish building with a black top, and that's the pool house down there that I talk about and reference sometimes too. So I'll try to move
It's
a camera a little
so
bit later.
much more than a pool house.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. It could be spare bedroom, guest house. It could be a kitchenette. It could be a shower.
It's closer to a
It's a
guest
game room.
house.
It's
Yeah.
a game room.
Game room.
Yeah, I
It is
mean,
a guest house. Is what it is.
There's a little kitchen in there.
That'll
and-
that'll be definitely a game room later on when I don't have kids anymore, and I'm just gonna like turn
own-
it into whatever I want.
your own games.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I would probably turn it into a library. Maybe I'd add a second story.
Your library is probably as big as that right now, right? You would have to have 2 of those already.
Oh, I don't know. Your place is 500 square feet. I don't think my library's 500 square feet.
No?
I
It
don't know.
seems like it. You have such a
It's
expansive
huge.
collection. and
It's pretty
The
big.
walls are so tall that you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's got
They
the
go-
proverbial ladder on rollers that goes back and forth when you want to reach a book high upon the platform.
That's my favorite toy right
It
now.
is. I think that's the first thing I asked you when you were building it, and I was being kind of facetious, and you said, "No, I've got one of those.
I actually am
I'm
gonna
actually going to
have
put
one
one
of
of those in there."
And I go rolling down it or sliding down it.
And then I like what something else John does when he has people there, and they ask him about a particular book, and then he knows exactly where it is, but he'll climb the ladder, he'll go back and forth a few times, he'll take a couple of books out, tap it, and then pull one out. It's a whole 60-second thing like, I know it's here someplace. Ah, here it is.
I have a new addition to the library that you might appreciate. I have, I would say 2/3 of it is gardening books, and 1/3 is fantasy books.
Okay.
Look on your face, Brian.
Okay.
But fiction, fantasy, like Lord of the Rings and stuff like
Right.
that. But there's one section. The particular author, Robin Hobbs, has a lot of titles that are relating to dragons. So those are all up on one shelf, and I found a bookend that's a dragon head with claws that come out and hold the books. And I'll have to take a picture of it.
I didn't
and
know
show
you were into dragons.
Used to be.
Interesting.
He likes those that genre.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were dragons in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. He likes that genre.
Do you know that
No-
there's
no.
notations and or drawings of dragons in just about every continent in the world?
Yeah.
Long before there was transportation to get to and from these places.
Yeah.
So you couldn't go from one place that had them and then went to someplace else and just drew it.
Right.
Very, very interesting. I guess
Yeah.
we call them the beasts, right, John?
Is there? Oh. Yeah.
Was dragon fruit before the dragon, or did that come after the dragon?
Did they name dragons
Yeah.
after dragon
Did they
fruit?
name dragons after dragon fruit?
I don't know.
But John knows where I'm
Speaking
going.
of dragon fruit, why don't you have any dragon fruit?
I do.
Do you?
There's one a cutting that I just got in a pot over here.
Because
So-
that would grow good in a dry area.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And my daughter loves dragon fruit, so she.
And we talked about this last. I was a little, I don't know.
Yeah, I've talked
Yeah.
to
Tasted it
people who
once.
don't like dragon fruit, and I kind of wonder why. I think someone made the comment about they didn't the little tiny seeds
Yeah.
bothered
It's
them.
like strawberries.
like strawberries.
you know?
But those seeds to me are like poppy seeds.
Yeah.
If you really like it, I don't think the seeds bother you.
No, I actually like the seeds and the texture because it does remind me of poppy seeds.
Do you like kiwi?
I love kiwi. Yeah.
Yeah. Kiwi's the same kind of thing with the
Yes.
seed,
Right.
but some people can't get past the
The fuzzy?
fuzzy skin
Yeah.
that it just sets them off.
Well,
you
you're
know?
not supposed to eat that.
Well, I know you're not supposed to eat it, but I mean, even just the idea of touching
And a lot of
it
people
and
don't
then-
like certain foods only because of texture.
Yeah.
Does it taste good? It's okay. It's
my
the,
granddaughter's like
It's
that.
the texture. I just can't stomach it. Hey, it's break time once again.
right.
So we're going to take a break for Biz Talk Radio. Going to stay on time. Thanks to Fertilome, our big, huge, major sponsor who makes this show and every one of our shows possible. Other great clients that you'll hear on Biz Talk Radio. So stay with us. Back even quicker on Facebook Live. Brian Main, John Bagnasker, Tiger Palafox. It is Garden America. Happy weekend. Back after this. All right, we are back, and if you're keeping track of things on Biz Talk Radio, this is the final segment of hour number 1. News coming up top of the hour. We're back at 6 minutes after. That's the old Biz Talk Radio program clock for Garden America. So make sure you remember that. So next time you're wondering what segment you're in, you will know. Or just listen to the entire show on Facebook Live. Go to our Facebook page, Garden America Radio Show. Watch us live, interact, comment, make suggestions, and that's how it works. So again, final segment, hour 1, Biz Talk Radio.
Biz Talk Radio.
Biz Talk, good friends on Biz Talk Radio. Scott, Stephanie, 2 major people that we want to be very nice to because they keep us
How are
on
they
the air.
doing? Texas, I believe, right? Where were they at?
Oh, is it Texas now?
No,
That's
you
a good
told me
question.
Recently, I can't remember, but it's not here in
They
California.
had moved. No, they're not California, but they did move.
Yeah.
You know, originally it was up in New England years ago.
Really?
Years ago.
I thought they were in Texas.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's we should see where they're from, and then we can do a show based on their region.
Yeah, exactly right.
If they're in New England in the middle of winter, we're going to talk palm trees and plumerias.
But Texas, man, talk about not overwatering.
My son lives in
Two
Texas.
extremes, right?
Yeah, how does he?
Areas are flooded, and
Yeah,
then areas
really.
are desert.
Yeah. They're I'm remulching the dry cactus succulent area.
Oh, are you? With what?
With just fresh mulch.
Just fresh, okay.
Yeah, I'm putting
'Cause
down.
that was a natural mulch before.
Yeah, and that's what
We're-
I'm doing. Same thing, natural mulch, but it's just new, and I'm putting down weed preventer, getting out all the weeds, and then it looks really good. But the one area where I had the pebble garden and put in the living stones and things, people kept walking through it. My daughter stepped and killed a lithops, and
Is this sectioned off?
Well, no, because
No.
he's the only one that works in his yard. So when other people come walking through his yard and they don't see these small,
Well,
you gotta remember, like a lithop looks like a rock. Number one,
and that was the point of the pebble
and
garden.
number two, they're about an inch big.
Right. But my daughter was weeding and she stepped on one and she killed it. And then my son was helping me yesterday, bringing up some new mulch, and he almost stepped in it. And so many people have gone through there. My daughter told me, well, the way you have it, it looks like something
path.
you're supposed to step
path.
on. Yeah. So I had a metal road runner that I put right in there.
Oh, okay.
So you can't walk. I mean,
Yeah.
you would step on the road runner.
Gotcha.
So I think it's okay. So
That's one of the biggest challenges as a landscape company too, is with people that know their yards, and whether it's bulbs or seeds or something coming up. When you first come to a yard and you see a bunch of little seedlings coming up in a bed, you just think they're weeds because they all look the same, right? Like they all just come up, little green sprigs, and it could be a sunflower, it could be a weed, it could be a banana, it could be a lot of things. So a landscaper goes in there and just cleans them out. Well, then people are like,
Yeah.
oh, that's where I had
Yeah.
my wildflower
Right.
seeds. That's where I had my vegetable garden. That's where, and it's like, oh yeah, sorry. You gotta put some signage up. You gotta put a roadrunner in the middle.
Welcome
there,
to the
John. Good
garden.
job.
Be careful what you step on.
Yeah.
when my daughter last year was working on the side garden, weeding it for me, and I really appreciate all her efforts. But of course, what's the first thing I did was I went out there and I go, where's the rare
Yeah, the rare. There's the key word.
yeah, the rare Brugmansia that
Yeah.
was there that can't be replaced. She said, what did it look like? I said, it looked like grass.
It's in the bottom of the trash can.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I did lose that plant. Speaking of Brugmansia,
Mm-hmm.
is you're still growing?
Brugmansia.
It's the one that's the big bulb, and it.
So
I think the species might be Catherine I.
Brugmansia, the angel
Not
trumpet.
Brugmansia. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. It's
No, it's the bulb you gave me,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you because it grew for a minute, but now it's not, and so I
Right.
don't know if
it's dormant this time.
okay.
of
So
year.
good,
Right.
Because I
Yeah.
thought I killed it.
No.
So yes, and I do have it. I'll show you where it's at.
Yeah, God, now it's bugging me. What the heck is that plant?
It's a bulb.
Right.
It's almost like an amaryllis, like meaning like the foliage comes out.
Brunsvigia.
Brunsvigia.
Yeah,
There
that's
you
why.
go.
Yeah,
Well, that's pretty close.
Brunsvigia. Yeah, that's why I got it mixed up.
Okay. Yes.
Well, why I got it mixed up is because I'm old. But yeah, the names are similar. But it's a Brunsvigia, and I think that I have one, and I gave you one, and they're about the same age. They were grown from seed, so they're almost blooming size. And I don't know if it'll bloom in a pot. Mine's in the ground. Yours is in a container.
No, mine's in the ground.
Oh, yours is in the ground?
Yeah, I'll show you where I planted it.
Okay.
Does it require water?
Not in the summer.
Okay, so it's in an area that doesn't get water in the summer.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of
Yeah,
cool.
so it should be okay. But the thing about it is when it puts out its bloom spike, the bloom is about, I'm thinking like 12 to 18 inches across. Almost like, and the reason I gave it to you was you were really impressed with when we were in England with all the alliums.
Alliums.
So it's that type of a bloom, except much, much
Bought a
bigger.
bunch of alliums.
None grew.
of them.
No.
None of them grew.
No, you have to move.
Yeah. So I think I have a good spot for that Brunsvigia because it's an area that doesn't get water in the summertime, and in the wintertime,
It can get water if it's an area that drains real well, just not a lot.
and then in the wintertime, it's an area that the water drains to. So therefore, it does get wet through the wintertime, but it's draining at the same time. Yeah. So Brunsvigia.
Our friend Tanya is identifying with
You.
the story about my pebble garden.
Yeah.
Because she posted, no, poor lithops.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. When you step on them, you would think they would pop like a little jelly.
They're kind of hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't pop like you would.
But now,
think.
shouldn't there be like a short briefing before you turn them loose in your garden?
Sure.
Don't step on this plant. I mean, you just kind of let them go. And
Before you walk through my yard,
Yeah,
I have to give you
exactly.
instructions.
this rare, one of a kind.
My daughter doesn't like instructions.
I like that she came out and weeded and stuff, though. Good for
She
her.
did so much weeding. Unbelievable.
Good for her.
Well, you know what? Good. You know what they say about good weeders? Hard to come by. When you see a good weeder, keep them.
Now, does she?
We got to take a break. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
When
got
we
top
get
of the
back.
hour for Biz Talk Radio. We'll be back very quick on Facebook Live. Again, 6 minutes after Biz Talk Radio, Hour 2, top of the hour news. This is Garden America. Thank you for joining us. Back after this, that, and the other thing. Stay with us. All right, that was one heck of a break. We've had a lot of breaks over the years. I can't recall one more fun than that break.
So
It was a lot of fun.
before the break, though, I was asking John if his.
Oh, by the way,
daughter-
welcome back to Garden America, by the
Oh
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Garden America.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right, here we go.
If Gina is at all feels like she's missing some of the California gardening, like we've talked about it, where she lives, there's things that she can grow there which we can't grow here. And
Right,
That's embrace that, love that. But at the same time, there is also a time of year where some other parts of the country she can't garden at all. Like it's just like you go out in the yard, there's nothing to do, there's nothing growing. It's just what it is. And so does she come back here and be like, man, it's so neat that I can weed even this time of year.
Well, I don't know if she thinks it's neat that she can
Weed.
Yeah, if
But
it's
she's
neat
good at
that she
it.
can weed, but well, she is good at it, but she also likes to see things finished. So she wanted to start a project and then have all the new mulch down and everything perfect before she left, which unfortunately we did not have time to do. But now we're pretty close.
Nice.
And almost, I would say virtually all the beds around the house are finished.
So she likes projects and she likes to be outside.
Right. And she mentions she only does pretty.
Gotcha.
So she doesn't like planting a botanical collection.
Gotcha.
But she did, and she does
She likes
like,
cleaning and mulching and arranging.
and she
things.
likes color
Nice.
combinations.
Yeah.
See, I love color too. I know exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she has to have the combinations. Like at home, she has a white and pink garden, the entire garden. She doesn't allow yellows or reds into her garden.
Yeah, see, that doesn't work for you or I.
No,
right?
no,
Because
but,
if I see a yellow plant that I'm like, I like it.
yes.
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
And I'll find a spot for it.
Yeah.
Like we talked about
Well,
earlier.
she would find a spot, just not in amongst the particular colors you're
No,
talking
I don't
about.
think she has
No.
anywhere in
Really?
her yard to go.
Yeah.
Because she's very specific. As
And
far
she's
as,
on a small lot compared to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
You know, she's
she doesn't have room for a yellow garden.
like the upper part of your house,
Uh-huh.
and you know, in a tract.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think she convinced my wife to also want a pink and white garden.
What?
So we have the one area by the bathroom door that's pink and white.
Oh, okay. And
So-
it pretty much so it's just gonna stay pink and white.
Yeah, it'll
You
just
won't add anything
right.
there.
My wife let purple creep into it, and then she decided, oh, I want all the purple out. So we've been removing all the purple, and the only purple left is one heliotrope
Oh wow.
because it was almost dead. It was in a dry part of that area where the irrigation wasn't hitting. So I thought I'll move it, and it will come back, and I fertilized it, and now it's starting to do real well, but it wasn't until after I replanted it and it was doing well that I realized, oh, it's purple.
Has Shannon, over the years, either taken more of an interest or kind of been a little more forthright with the garden outside and certain things that she wants that maybe prior, she didn't really have an interest?
She's not so much of a plant person as she is a visual person, and she knows if it's appealing to her.
Okay.
And she wants a yard.
Yeah, she wants a yard,
How's
and
that
she,
lawn coming, by the way?
and
Yeah,
she
exactly.
also wants it.
Thanks.
Wants
Thanks,
it, wants it to be neat.
Yes.
It has to be neat.
She wants a yard.
I get that.
You know, and I can appreciate that and understand that.
Well, you know,
Where-
she's
where-
out there with the soccer ball, you know, kicking that around.
Yeah,
where
of course.
John wants a garden. You know, ultimately his is a garden where, you know, Shannon is a yard, so to speak. And,
Right.
and people say, well, what's the difference between
Well,
the two?
there's a difference.
And I think that the big difference is that a yard is an area where people can come and they can hang out.
They can
and-
run around. The kids can play.
Yeah. And
No harm, no foul.
Exactly. Where a garden is going to be probably not necessarily always usable space because the plants are filling up certain areas. It's more you know, the plant based, plant focused,
Yeah.
you know, kind of a thing. Not so much space focused. Yeah.
She did tell me something after we were first married, and it was that she was talking to a friend of ours about gardens, and she said, before I married John, I would drive down the street and all I saw was green.
Yeah.
And this is when we were living in Michigan. She says, now I see elm trees and maple trees and
Specific.
specific plants.
Yeah.
And I've always seen plants my whole life.
Yeah.
So I that was the first time I realized that people had different mindsets and different ways of looking at things.
I think growing up, I kind of like Shannon to a degree. I would just look out and, like right now, I could, as a kid, I'd just say, yeah, there's a bunch of plants out there.
Yeah.
Not really looking at each individual
Yeah.
or focusing in and saying, wow, what is that?
Well, were you like that, Tiger? Because you were brought up in the nursery industry. So did you always see
Plant.
plants? You never saw just like green. What about Janine?
Janine only like you said,
Right.
Shannon. She sees green and she
Right.
sees something she likes, but it's a plant. It's
Right.
not a whatever the plant may be.
But I remember when we were at the Plumeria show, she liked Plumeria.
Yeah, she does. But
But whether it's a purple striped Plumeria, she doesn't really care.
no. And I think here's where that whole I grew up seeing plants came was because obviously my dad, you know, when we would travel or when we would be places, he would make comments. Oh,
Right.
look at this. Oh, look at that. And he would know the name of the plant. He
Right.
would tell me what it is. So growing up, plants always had names to me.
Right.
Where for Janine, plants didn't have names.
The
They
names
just-
were trees,
Yes.
shrub.
flower.
That
Right.
was me.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
how do you
yeah.
how do you know the name of that? Because
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Really? That's what that is?
So it's a very different upbringing than later on when you start to actually put names with the plants, and you know, and then you also start to learn, you know, like what you just were saying with Janine with the plumeria. Like she knows plumeria, and she can appreciate them.
Right. Especially if they're fragrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you and I would appreciate them on another level
Right.
because we know maybe the rarity of it or
This
the
one's got
uniqueness of
variegated
it,
leaves,
or-
and
yeah.
this one's got a different variegation.
Yeah, like for instance, even this little Dracaena on
Yeah.
our,
Yeah.
our table. You and I understand the uniqueness of it,
Right.
Because we understand it's a curly, spiral growing one,
Not the norm,
not
so
just
to
a
speak.
basic strappy
Yeah.
leaf Dracaena. Because I mean, Dracaena is what's the other name? Is not dumb cane? No. What's the common name for Dracaena?
corn plant.
Corn plant.
Yeah.
And people will be like, oh, that's a corn plant.
Yeah.
And they just
See, I
I'm
never
like,
knew it as a corn plant.
but
Only
but,
Dracaena.
Yeah, but people will be like, oh, that's a corn plant, whatever, and they just think it's a normal. They put it in one name, one group. They don't
Right.
always break it up into the different varieties that there may be. So, yeah.
Lenore says that she can't see us. She sent me an instant message. Did you get that? Maybe you can
I'll share the link.
send her
to
the link.
See
Yeah.
if we can get this to happen. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so well, yeah. I was going to say you could explain it, but if people can't hear us or
No,
listen
no.
to us, there's no reason to explain it.
Right.
So that's what Tiger's going to do right now. We've done this before, though. In the past, we've used Tiger's page to feed our Facebook page
Have we?
years ago,
Yeah.
Oh.
We did.
and it seems to be holding. So there is something about our page that might be the culprit. Anyway, we got a couple of minutes before the next break.
I think it's a conspiracy when you get right down to it. I think there's other garden shows out there that are
Shutting us
trying to
down.
shut us down.
You call them garden hackers.
They're
Yeah.
trying to shut down our gardening voice.
Yes. Exactly.
I guess maybe because of the political climate, but mainly because of the book I'm writing. Everything's a conspiracy right now.
Do you think that that's put you in a different mindset? Like you writing this book?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
You're creating conspiracies. You're
Am I
thinking-
creating conspiracies,
See,
or
that's already a conspiracy.
or am I just discovering ones that are already there?
See, right there. But to some degree, you have to create them in your mind to put this on paper.
And you're absolutely right. Can you create them without believing
something,
It just
right?
takes one person to say something about something,
Yeah.
and then people run with it.
Yeah.
Well, we never landed on the moon, What?
Yeah. What?
Huh?
And yeah,
Wait,
exactly.
what?
Exactly.
And the Earth is flat.
oh my
Wait,
goodness.
what?
Can you imagine?
Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
But don't forget what
I
you're.
won't. I
Can
won't.
you imagine?
Got it.
Last things out of Tiger's mouth as we take a break. Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live. This is Garden America. Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Back after these messages on Biz Talk Radio. Well, guess what? We're back.
Hey,
And Tiger, don't go ahead. But Tiger.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
No, no,
good.
no, you
go ahead, John. Go
well,
ahead.
I was just going to mention that some people. Carla just joined us. She just found the link, and I wanted to let people know that if you missed the first part of the show, it will be posted on Facebook. Right? Is that right, Tiger?
Yeah.
So
And our YouTube channel this afternoon,
Right.
Garden America Radio Show on YouTube. You can watch the
yes,
entire
you
thing.
can go back and see
And
it.
it's already edited.
Oh wow!
Boom, no breaks, no nothing. You just go. All you see is pure show. Pure show, John.
Carla mentioned the link on Facebook wasn't working for her, Tiger, and that
I'm working on this right now.
yeah, and Tanya had to share it. But Carla also mentioned that she loved the description of Tiger's gardening method. So she said that there isn't anything she'd love more than to spend a week nonstop in the garden, but her energy level and other responsibilities don't allow it. And so one of the things in that article that we talked about earlier in the show is that the Tiger doesn't have a week to spend in the garden either.
Yeah.
So he's got 5 minutes before he takes the kids somewhere that he'll go out and deadhead something. Or, he might say, I'm going to take an hour and I'm going to just work on this section of the garden this weekend.
Or 1:30 in the morning when it's quiet. Nobody's bothering you. Put some lights on.
A little moonlight
A
gardening.
little moonlight gardening. There's an idea for an article. Moonlight gardening.
Well, we've had articles on moon gardening before, which is gardening. So gardening for the way it will appear at night, because there's a lot of flowers that open at night,
Right.
and not so much during the day. As a matter of fact, there's a similar to a morning glory called a moonflower,
Yeah.
and those open at night. And then there's 4 o'clocks, which open at 4 o'clock.
Now, as far as fragrance, is there certain jasmines that only are more
Night
fragrant
blooming
at night?
jasmine.
Night
Night
blooming
blooming
jasmine,
jasmine.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of plants that are fragrant at night, and you know why they're fragrant at night, Brian?
Because they are being attracted to all those people that are awake at night, right?
No, I thought you would have had the correct answer.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
that was 100% wrong.
but they're fragrant because they're attracting. They want to attract.
Attract what?
Well, there you go.
They want you are on the
I'm
right
on the
track.
right track.
They attract pollinators, and they're pollinated by moths
Right. That are nocturnal.
that are active at night,
Right.
or bats.
Right. But speaking of that, you were going to put a belfry in your house.
That was in my old house.
Okay.
So, before I forget,
Yes.
and I was supposed to remember this comment, we were talking about.
Wow, that impresses me.
Yeah.
That you can remember that long.
Well, yeah.
We were talking about things that surprise conspiracy, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And I'm watching this show right now with Jason Momoa, Hawaii, back in the day, and the Europeans are starting to come into Hawaii and expose them to things and whatnot. And I mean, imagine early on somebody telling you about this fruit or this plant with these thorns, or it was this crazy color, or this animal. You know what I mean? Like, and you would think, like, that's not real. It's a conspiracy theory. They're just making stuff up. That doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden, one day, it shows up to you, and you see a pineapple, or you see the plumeria, or you see, corn, or whatever it may be, and you taste it, and, I mean, that's got to be so
What about all the
interesting.
people that had to taste something for the first time?
Yeah,
And you sit around going, how's he doing? Well, it's been a minute since he took the bite. How do you feel? You all right? I'm all right.
Did you ever read James Michener's book, Hawaii?
No, but we've talked about this before, though.
Well, it's about the missionaries going over to
Right,
Hawaii.
okay.
And this one missionary who was, like the other missionaries, all developed over the years into normal people. But Abner Hale kept his Puritan origins, very strict in what he was doing. And on the way over, he knew that the Hawaiians ate bananas.
Okay.
So he made his wife eat bananas the whole boat trip over there. And they didn't know they had to be ripe, so they were eating green bananas.
Hard.
And she was seasick, and they were all vomiting.
And then they arrive, and they give them to him, and they go,
Well, no, when they arrived, I think they eventually learned how they were supposed to eat bananas.
can you imagine,
But-
though, if you did arrive, and you're like, what, you've been eating it like that this whole time?
Well, that's it's kind of like what you were talking about. It's like the first time you don't know what to do.
Yeah, you
If
don't.
someone gave you a pineapple, would you
Yeah.
know what to do with it?
No, you just
You
take a
can't-
bite out of it.
you
and you're
can't
like,
bite
this is
into it.
horrible.
Right.
Yeah, how about, like you said, not knowing that bananas ripen off the tree?
Right.
Yeah.
We have to wait till they're ripe. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Or
they just fall
avocados.
off.
I mean, all that, having to learn all that.
Yeah.
No, so definitely I feel probably plants were probably one of the first conspiracy theorist things that people used to be like, that doesn't exist. That's not real.
Or legend, a legend.
Yeah, legend.
You know,
There you go.
There's the word, and I'll tell you. Speaking of that, it's just like koala bears and silverback gorillas. And I use those two as an examples because people used to talk about them, and they thought it was an urban legend. That up until about 1900, nobody had seen a gorilla, or those that did see it were few and far between.
Right.
And they'd come back with these stories, and they'd go, yeah, a giant chimpanzee, giant, monkey. Same with koala bears. And there's probably a lot of other examples as well.
Well, do you remember that scientists, when they were first presented with a dodo bird, thought that it was a hoax,
Right.
that it had been made up, that people just there's nothing that really looks like that. And if I'm not mistaken, the same thing with the duck-billed platypus.
Yes.
They thought that different parts of
Oh, yeah.
animals had been sewn
Put together. Like,
Yeah,
like
which-
when you go
which
to
actually, yeah.
no, but you go to the you go to places in Arizona or whatever in the desert, and they have those stuffed jackalopes.
Oh, yeah.
Jackalope.
You know
Well,
what I
you can
mean?
buy
And it's-
postcards.
and it's the
Right.
rabbit with, the
horns, the
Yeah.
jackalope. When I was a kid, I
Exactly.
thought they existed. So we'd be driving across country. My folks would say, "Okay, now look real carefully because they're fast." I'd be looking at
Yeah, and then you go to a shop and you see it.
Yeah, you
So
go, hey,
think it's
there's a
real.
picture. In fact, there's a guy next to one with a gun. He shot it.
What about Chupacabra?
Chupacabras.
Oh, Chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
Oh, Chupacabra.
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 Yeah.
That's like the.
Those are real,
The
right?
boogeyman.
Yeah,
No,
and-
I mean it's the boogeyman. It's the boogeyman. It's what other mythical? It's the monster under your bed.
yeah, but there's something else that comes out of New Jersey.
Like
the New Jersey,
Gremlins?
the New
Yeah.
Jersey Devil or something.
yeah.
Hey, our buddy Kevin just landed in San Diego.
Hey, what?
Kevin.
Welcome.
And he wants to know if you're going to be at the MBHS reunion. Is that Mission Bay High School
Well,
reunion?
that would be class of. That's not my class.
Oh,
You guys were in different ones.
This would be 1975,
What were you?
74.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but I knew everybody.
yeah. He won't be there, Kevin. Brian has no
I
class.
don't know if Kevin's going to be there
there's no class.
He said he's going to be there. That's where he's going.
tonight. When is it?
He said it's.
Oh,
I don't know. He just wants to know if you're
I
going to
mean,
be
I
there.
knew that it was coming up. I don't know when.
I mean, that's why he came to San Diego.
We have to take a break for Biz Talk Radio.
Kevin also says your house looks like paradise.
Oh, thanks.
We've
Evan.
got two more. Yes, it does. Two more segments coming up here on Garden America. Do stay with us. Taking a break for Biz Talk Radio. Okay, we are back from that break. Actually, two more segments until we wrap things up. So still a ways to go here on Garden America. We've got the roving reporter, the roving camera. John, can you pick that up so we can see where Tiger's going? And
Pick what up? Oh,
yeah, right there.
oh.
You'll have to describe what. Yeah, that's the camera right there. Yeah, you don't hurt yourself.
Well, what did we promised listeners that he would show the brown building in the back, which is
You go. Okay, so that's. Well,
now,
that's
what is that? A gazebo?
It's a gazebo in the pool house or the guest house.
You can see what he's what it looks like because you have the tab.
Yeah, he's just kind of an overview of his backyard there.
But Kevin was right that it does look like a bit of paradise. It's definitely that type of garden,
It comes across good on camera.
and it's amazing what he's done. I think.
And look at that! Look at that! Look at the tomatoes! Look at that fence! Have you ever seen a fence like that?
Well, the tomatoes come up from seed every year.
Look at that!
How long has he been here? He bought this house after we started the show.
What year did you buy the house? 8 years.
About 8 years. So
Yeah.
he's done a lot in 8 years.
So really, they say a picture or video is worth 1,000 words. We're up to 900,
Wow, 100 more to go.
100 more to go.
And his yard's complete.
and look at that steady, strong Wi-Fi connection.
That's good.
There we go. Look at that plumeria.
Tiger, show him your podocarpus hedge, because when Tiger first moved here, he planted all these podocarpus, kind of as a screen.
Right. Sure.
And it was a dwarf type podocarpus, so because you don't want them to get too huge, but because they were dwarf, they grow slowly. But now after 8 years, they're starting to fill in. They making a really nice screen. So much to do. And
It's never done. It'll never be completed.
No, and I think Tiger 8 years ago was able to get in just as the housing market was
Right.
was going up. Now it's almost impossible to buy a home with this much land in San Diego.
This house was built back in the day when you had a decent sized house, but it was mostly all backyard. And there we are. There's the return. There's the plumeria once again. So there's a good overview of San Diego Paradise.
Paradise Point Resort is down in the back.
Exactly. Now, when you go out there like you just did, do you ever see like something new or something you didn't notice before, Tiger? So you're walking outside, and the next day you walk out and go, how long has that been there?
Well, kind of like,
Or when
we
did
were
that
talking
die?
about- we were talking about earlier, and we were talking about the Brunsfeldsia?
No.
Brunsvigia?
Brunsvigia.
Brunsvigia.
Yeah.
Brunsvigia.
I knew where it was, and I've seen it, but then it disappears.
Yeah.
And so then sometimes I go out there, and I'm like, oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
And I forget it's there. So, yeah.
That's an extremely rare bulb that you have.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you can find one anywhere in San Diego.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I could be wrong.
So yeah, I do walk out there and I see things kind of like that I forget. So one thing that's super funny. I'm wondering if I can find it. But earlier this morning, the hummingbird was sitting there watching us on the show, and I look up in that banana, and there's a nest. But they strapped their nest to the leaf on the underside of it.
Oh.
They actually strapped it to it though.
Really?
It's so crazy.
Was that a hummingbird or oriole nest? Because orioles do that, don't they? Hang their nests?
Maybe it was an oriole, but
Have
it
you
was
seen
small.
orioles
It was
here?
small.
Yeah,
Have
they're
you seen
small,
them?
but
I don't think I've
they're a
seen an
lot
oriole.
bigger than a hummingbird nest.
Yeah, no, this was
Definite
the nest was
hum-
like the size of like a softball. So I think
Well,
that
that's
had
a
to be
smaller
hummingbird.
nest. I mean, it sounds like a hummingbird nest.
Yeah, it sounds
that's
like a
small.
hummingbird
You know
nest.
what's interesting? Now that we are,
Let me see if-
Hardball or softball? Softball could be
Softball.
oriole.
softball.
you know,
Softball's too big for a hummingbird.
you said that you haven't seen an oriole since
Since
going
Baltimore.
going back a year now since we've decided to feed all the wildlife.
Yeah,
We're seeing birds
Everything.
that I've never seen before.
Have you?
And
Are you?
Orioles, black and yellow. And it's only
Really?
because the word's gotten out that this is where you go to take a bath in the fountain, get a drink of water, and eat.
this is the bird spa.
So aside from the finches, the robins, the sparrows, the crows, and anything else you can think of that's real common,
Yeah.
in and amongst them are these birds that come out of nowhere.
Whoa. They
Okay.
just got the message.
Well, yeah, because it's like, well,
You're-
where have you been?
You're on some bird,
On a list.
you know,
It's
TripAdvisor.
Yeah, it's
where
like-
it's like they log on and they're checking out like, where should we stop on the way to
look at
San
this.
Diego?
Well, this has 4 stars.
Exactly. Exactly.
But and speaking of hummingbirds, they can be vicious.
Oh
Have you-
yeah.
Have you seen
Oh,
them
yeah, they can be
fighting each
vicious.
other?
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a message for you, Brian.
Yes.
Brandon Blaylock's house tonight, 5:00.
Oh,
Be there.
I know Brandon Blaylock.
You know everybody that's going to be
Yeah.
there.
I guess I do.
Yeah.
Where'd Tiger go? Is he the nest?
Oh, he's looking for the.
Yeah, for the hummingbird nest.
Yeah, the way I can be wrong, but the way he's describing it sounds like an oriole nest to me.
But that doesn't sound. What I mean, how big is softball or hardball? What did he say? How big?
He said softball.
Well, that's fairly large.
Yeah, hardball. It could be a hummingbird's
But he's
nest.
never seen orioles around here.
Well,
See, you never know. You never know what's lurking. I remember one time not too long ago, Tiger, because of course we have a hummingbird feeder here and there, and I was putting it back up. We just filled it up, and as I put it back up, 2 hummingbirds landed on my arm.
Oh wow.
So I just stopped. I'm like, go ahead, get a drink. I mean, I didn't know what to do. And then they hopped off and jumped on it and started drinking.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, wow, you're pretty gutsy.
Yeah. I mean, if you've never been hurt by something,
No.
right? Then
Yeah, you don't
just
know
gotta
any
go.
better.
And if it's where your food is,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, there's a guy that puts the food up there.
Yeah,
don't you
exactly.
think that most animals have a natural fear of man, though?
You think so? I don't think so.
I
You don't
think if
think
they've
so?
had, you mean built-in instinct?
Yeah.
I think we are very.
You're thinking like the Galapagos, where all the animals were not afraid of people because they had never seen
They've
them.
never seen him.
I don't think humans are scary. A bear, scary. A tiger, scary.
Yeah, but there's birds that'll go in crocodiles' mouths and eat.
And pick the teeth.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's a
but what I'm
symbiotic
saying.
relationship.
But
Yeah, but
that's
it-
different. They
don't
grew,
you think
they
that-
grew up learning that from their
Yes.
parents, right? But what I'm getting at is a human is not scary. Like we don't have we're bigger than. Don't get me wrong. Like there are animals that are
You know
scared
what is
of
scary
us
about us?
because we're bigger.
Our actions.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you first see a human, I don't think people are scared of them. When you animals
People?
are scared,
Oh.
I don't think animals are scared of humans because when you first see us, it's like, we don't have claws. We don't have big teeth. It doesn't look like we can run
I'll give you
very
an
fast.
example. You know, I've talked about it ad nauseum. Over the past 5 or 6 years, the doves every year that build their nest. Okay, at some point they had to decide that we are not a threat because the nest is right in front of me.
Yeah.
I can reach up. The mother bird sits there. Her mate flies back and forth. They raise their kids. The kids are in the patio the kids don't know. They're not afraid. They're not afraid of us because this is where they grew up. They were born there. It's after a period of time. Now, some of the other wild birds, the finches.
Don't you think that the word gets around, hey, they're not scary, but they got cats.
Oh my!
If that door ever opens,
Our
you're
sliding
gone.
glass door is cat TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about that.
But what about road runners?
What about them?
You can't get near a road runner. You look at it and it's 100 yards away. All of
I
a
think
sudden,
there's
they run.
creatures that are naturally skittish.
Yeah, they run from everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially coyotes.
They have
They're
a
pretty
weird
fast.
relationship with coyotes, huh?
They it's not unusual to see a road runner at my house with a lizard in its mouth.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, by the way, I've got some bad news.
Oh, no.
You know, how I'm finishing the landscape at my house, and up on the top where the rose bed is finally coming to being finished in that area, I had a gopher. And I haven't caught a gopher in like 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months?
Yeah, I haven't had any.
Well, what was your count up to?
80.
See? I mean,
So anyway,
They can't reproduce fast enough.
yeah.
I set the trap last night, and we'll see what happens. But
See, but the nice thing about it is once you have one,
it's
now
easy
you-
to
you-
get one at a
yeah,
time. To
yeah.
get 10 at a time is bad.
So you basically have maybe not necessarily controlled, but you've contained.
Yeah.
By the way, I was just thinking I've got to get some ground squirrels now that are down by the chicken coop.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if our listeners would be interested in having a guest on the show that talks about chickens.
Yeah.
She does coops, she raises chickens, and she's geared for. She works in San Diego, but she's geared for a house like yours. You know, where
Urban.
somebody might, urban chickens.
I think a lot of people are interested because I think they kind of get intimidated by raising a chicken.
We're gonna take a break.
All right.
One more segment, guys. How about that? That's a fast show. One more segment coming up. We're going to take a break for Biz Talk Radio. I'm Brian Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. This is Garden America. Stay with us. Okay, we are back. As I mentioned before the break, final segment, hour 2, Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live. Some people did eventually find us,
Yeah.
Tiger, from going from one page to the other with the link that you put in there. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. And we were just talking before the break about having a guest on that's going to
Chickens.
chat chickens, and I think a lot of
Carla
people,
wants to know if she'll talk about how to cook them.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple uses.
I'm curious.
But I think a lot of people are intimidated by a chicken because they think that, how do I raise it? Something they don't know, right? Like, what are things I have to be careful of? How do I raise it? And then the fact that I think most people raise chickens to have eggs, not to cook them.
Right.
So then again, people are like, well, I'm actually eating a product of this animal, so that's new to them too.
Once
you name it, you can't eat it.
It's funny because our friend Kathy that had joined us today, that was her saying that if she gives something a name, she can't eat it.
No, it becomes a...
So the first thing she did was name every chicken that
chicken.
was that hatched.
But she's a wonderful cook too, so I'm.
Oh, yeah.
You don't name your chickens at the nursery, right? They just or do you?
No, we name our chickens at the nursery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We don't. I mean, those are eggs chickens, and
Right.
there is a difference between an egg chicken and a meat chicken. So, and meat chickens are only alive for about what was it?
Till they're
4
big
months?
enough to kill.
Yeah, I mean, no, but and you don't keep them alive longer than that because then the meat doesn't turn as good. It's not as tender. It's
Okay.
older and everything else. So there is a peak time to let's say harvest those meat chickens.
She can talk about that as well.
Yeah, but chickens are fun to have, and they can have personalities.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
and
Absolutely.
be pets. I mean,
Yeah.
Every
yours are
animal-
a little bit removed from your house,
They have personalities.
but they do have
so-
personalities.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Every animal has a personality.
And ours
Yeah.
are all named too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my daughter-in-law, when she lived there, had put up a sign, and all their names are on there.
Do you have a closer relationship with one over any other ones? Like, what's your favorite chicken? Who is your favorite chicken?
I don't know. There's a few that we hatched ourselves after
Oh, fun.
Michelle had left, so those didn't get tamed.
Yeah.
And they're afraid of you.
Oh.
So there's maybe 3 that are like that just take off. But then there's others who have been there from the beginning, like Helen and Chocobo, and they'll come up to you. They'll eat out of your hand.
Yeah. Will
And-
they follow you while you're working in the yard if you let them out?
No, we don't let them out because
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot going on.
there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I would like to make a chicken run someday.
Oh yeah.
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 I bet you if you did allow them to like cruise with you in the yard, I bet you they would follow you around because the work you do
Oh yeah.
is exactly what chickens love.
Then they'd be free-range chickens,
You're
John.
weeding, you're potting, you're doing
Well,
stuff.
down
so
there-
they're looking for bugs all the time.
Yeah, down there where the roses in 5-gallon cans are, when I would let them out, I'd lift up a pod and there'd
there
be
you go.
sow bugs under there, and
they
they
love
just
it.
went crazy. Yeah,
So they would just follow you around.
yeah, and they
Yeah, and again, they'd be
Right.
free-range chickens.
except for Helen would just take off after a while.
Really?
Yeah, and go over to the neighbor's house. It's like
What?
everybody else would stay around the coop, and
Tiger promised us a military flyover.
Second one.
didn't I tell you that they would eventually find our podcast and try to shut us down? By the way, Carla pointed out, Tiger, and now that I think of it, she's absolutely right. A hummingbird's nest is almost the size of a ping pong ball.
Oh, okay.
Certainly not a softball.
So this had to be something else.
I think it was an Oriole
Maybe
nest
it-
because that's how they build their nests.
yeah. Okay.
So
it
keep
was
looking
an
for Orioles.
Yeah. Brian says since you haven't seen the Orioles that I'm probably wrong, but
No, it's interesting if it is an Oriole nest that you have it. What other birds would it be?
I don't know. But I'll be.
California
I don't
condors
know.
don't build nests like
I don't know
that.
birds very
Huge
well.
wingspan.
So I don't know birds very
You're not an
well.
ornithologist?
No.
That's
No.
right. Ornithologist studying
Yeah.
birds? Okay.
Well, we've
Making sure.
had meetings with ornithologists, remember?
Wally Cox.
Oh, not Wally Cox.
See,
Who was
that is so random. Only a few people are going to appreciate that.
Who would I can't even remember his name, but he was the ornithologist for Scott's
Oh,
fertilizer company, remember?
I can see his face.
Yeah.
Yes, and we were back touring with him.
Right.
We
And he was being an expert on birds. He was working on their bird feed.
we had it so basically different types of bird feed or food
Right.
for different regions of the country.
And you
And-
put it out different times.
And
yeah.
we went out there and he showed us they had, that was interesting.
Yeah. I
And
think
it would attract those birds. You're looking for these birds? Put this out.
right for this area.
Yeah.
And I guess not everyone remembers, but the cheaper the bird seed, usually the less likely birds are to eat it.
Yeah, because
Because the cheapest seed is Milo, and Milo is a great filler, but birds do not eat Milo.
yeah.
So
Less filler, the better.
There's all over the news. There's a huge migration happening right now. They were
Yeah.
talking about. Did
Yes.
you see that?
no, but somebody posted that online, and I wasn't
We've
sure
got
what
about
they
a
were
minute to go.
talking about.
What migration?
Well, there's a huge migration of birds and other like insects and stuff happening right now on the East Coast. Because the reason why it caught my attention, I remember John would mention on how there used to be such massive migrations sometimes that they would black out the sky.
Well, those are pigeons.
Passenger pigeons.
Passenger
right.
pigeons.
But this isn't just one variety. This is a multiple variety
Right.
migration. And I'm like, wow, that's really neat that, it's kind of happening. I hope it's neat. Hopefully it's not for our problem.
Not because of the impending
Extinction-
apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sure that's pretty impressive for bird watchers to have this opportunity to see these massive migrations of all these different varieties of birds.
That's going to do it, guys. So far, so good. So thank you so much, Tiger. Can we do it again here?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is nice. Love it.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm going to work on the the Garden
links?
America link.
Yeah, the link.
This week. See, you fix one thing and then
Yeah, it's
not
something
another
else.
thing broke, but like now you
Oh,
found
well,
out it's
you
not
fixed
that.
this, but now look what you did over here.
Exactly.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Those on Biz Talk Radio, Facebook Live, thank you. We'll do it again next weekend from someplace. See, that's the mystery. That's the cool part about it. We don't know where we'll be next week, but we'll be someplace because wherever we go, there we are, John. Take care. Have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll do it again. I'm Brian Main, John Begnasker, Tiger Palafox. Thanks for tuning in to Garden America. Take care.